Hey, how's it going out there today, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day. It's weekly recap time, coming to you bright and early this morning. Whew, man, have I been working hard here lately. I'm about 3 weeks behind on weekly recap. And this is the only time I can get a chance to make a video, is get up 30 minutes early and try to crank out a video. Back to that grind. YouTube is a grind if you want to be successful at it, so. All right, weekly recap. Let's get into it. Here it goes. Whoop. Y'all have heard it all before, but I got to say it again for the new people. This is weekly recap. I go over the loads I did as an owner-operator. I am leased to an 80-20 split carrier, Reefer freight. I don't talk about the carrier. Find your own carrier. Do the research. I don't want to hand you everything and then you not be grateful that you had to work to get it. So do the research, find your own carrier. If you end up where I'm at, then hey, good for you, but it really does me no benefit to talk about them. So that's where we're at. Now, I will tell you the variable cost on this. When I get to the end, you will hear me say, this is the money left to do what I have to do with. This is where you want to plug in your insurances, your payments if you have any kind of payments. God help you if you've got payments these days, because freight is rough. This is a week from the second week of October, maybe the first week of October, kind of in that area. October 2022 here. So if you're watching this in the future, thank you. Be sure to smash that like button for me. And let's get with it. So we're back to the slow and steady. I grabbed my Minnesota out to Virginia load that I do all the time. When times get tough, I say find something and stick with it, almost like a dedicated thing, because you do not want to be out here on the spot market getting eat for lunch. It's just no fun when you get eat for lunch. Trust me. I like to go Minnesota, out back, a little bit of time at the house, start all over again. So I tried to do some spot market stuff the last couple weeks. It's been okay. I did fairly good at a $10,000 week there, but boy, did I put in the work for that one. So I said, when I got back to the house, I said, let's just time it out to where we get back on the old slow and steady. So that's what I did. Minnesota, frozen food load, 40,000 pounds, $4,200 to run that out to Virginia. And then we come up to Maryland and we grab my favorite back haul I do. That's why I like this little round trip right here, because that load coming back, 28 degrees start and stop, 6,000 pounds. It was actually less than 6,000 pounds. I rounded up. $3,000 coming back on that one. So glad to have that in the pocket these days. Let me tell you that. Just hard work, just out here grinding. That is a 5-day work week right there. So it's a 2-day run out, and then you kind of set for a day, almost a full day, and then it's a 2-day run back. I like it. It's hard running when you're running, but then when you're not running, I'm either at the house or I'm just chilling in Virginia or Maryland or wherever I decide to stay. So and it's getting that time of year where I don't mind sitting all day, because I don't have to run my generator to stay cool. I can just sit there and, rest and sleep, and hey, why not? Why not? So that was the 2 loads of the week. I love it when it's like that. $7,200 gross revenue on that, $5,760 to me, my 80%. I do not pay for a trailer. I use the company trailer. It's built into that 20%. We did 2,474 all miles on this one. 149 miles of deadhead this week. 2325 on the loaded miles. And that brings it out to 6% deadhead. That is $291 a mile. All miles. Every mile the truck turns $291. And then 233, my 80% to me is 233. And a loaded miles 309 on that run. So, I'm just gonna sit there and eat on that, because I'm not killing myself. I'm not killing my truck. It's 2,500 miles a week, which is pretty dang good. Now, don't get me wrong. When I'm running these, I have to do like 600 miles a day, because they're both so tightly scheduled. But like I said, I get a day off in the middle, and then I get a 34 to typically at the house when I drop the one before I got to go get the other one again. I usually get like 40 to 44 hours at the house there. So it's like I get a day off on the road, which I use that day to handle business. Like I went and got my DOT physical. I try to do all my paperwork. I try to get all my logistical stuff done. That way when I hit the yard, all I got to do is turn in paperwork, turn in a few fuel receipts, and anything I had done to the trailer. And then I get in the car and I go home for almost 2 days. So it's working out real well for me. I'm just going to continue on it. Trying to get as many of these as I can. I've been working this little thing down south right now too. It's kind of turning into a dedicated thing. The only thing I'm not crazy about, it's a heavy load coming back. It's very similar on the miles out. It's very similar scheduled. It's identical money. So the only thing is really a bonus is that light load coming back. But with winter coming on, I think I'd rather run more miles down south than out east. You know what I mean? Like drop down, catch some good weather. And then if I have to come back, or not have to, but when I do come back to Minnesota, Illinois, Minnesota, all that, I'll be coming back with some weight on, so help with the traction a little bit, Just saying. So let's go over these variable costs now. $11.08 on diesel. Now I remind you, this is what I bought, not what I used. When I fueled up the first time out after this week was over, when I left out again, I was like, why in the hell did I run myself so low on fuel? And then I remembered, oh yeah, I was trying to make a delivery, didn't have time to stop and refuel. I said, hey, I got enough fuel to get the delivery and get back out. That's what I'll do. So 11.08 on diesel, 160 on reefer. It's that time of year. Reefer fuel is just going to keep dropping because like right now I got a start and stop load on, and it is basically the same temperature outside as it is in the trailer. So gotta love that. $25 in def on this one, $4.24 on tolls. That's another thing that I'm enjoying about going south a little bit, is not paying those east tolls. Now I can go around them, but honestly, as tight as they got these scheduled, I don't have time to drop down and run US 30 across. So I kind of got to pay it. I've been dodging the Indiana as much as possible going out there, because for me, the time to dodge Indiana, the time it takes to dodge it is well worth the $58 you save. But there comes times when, you just got to set the cruise and, get on across the toll road. $13 on scale to load out. No reason to scale that load back. $17.30 on variable cost. $5,760 to me, minus $1,730 leaves me $4,030 left to do what I have to do with. I dropped $500 of that into the maintenance account. We're sitting at $35.30 after that. Fuel cost for the week was 45 cents a mile fuel cost. Now, given, it's hard to tell weekly how good, I'll give you an example. The week before this, my fuel cost was 79 cents a mile. It fluctuates so much because like this, going home on empty versus the last time I filled up literally 150 miles before I got to the house or to my delivery. So that's the difference. I try to keep it updated with like a monthly one, because you can tell more by the month, and not so much fluctuation. But my third quarter ifta was in, and third quarter 2022 ifta was 8.24 miles per gallon. So I try to stay above 8 miles a gallon on that ifta. Now we're going to be dropping off a little bit right now for winter. It's just the way it is. I'm also out of my fuel ox. I love running the fuel ox additive. I'm out of it right now because UPS damaged my shipment, which I was cutting it a little close on getting that, but in time anyway. And then UPS damaged my shipment, so I'm waiting on another one right now. So kind of without fuel ox, so I know that's going to hurt my fuel economy a little bit too. So I'm a little bummed about that, but that's the numbers for the week, guys. Now, here's what I want to talk about this week. I always try to do a little, like, something after the weekly recap. Thanks for sticking around if you made it this far, by the way. There will be an ad at the end. Stick around, watch the ad if you're interested. If not, whatever. But what I want to talk about this week is I get a lot of people in my comment section. Thank you, everybody that leaves a comment. Good, bad, and different. I try to read them. I'm getting to the point now, the channel's getting to the point where I can't sit around for 3 hours a day reading comments. So I try to, hit the first ones that get put up on a video. I try to respond to those. I always try to respond to my channel members as well. But I get a lot of people saying, and I'm not saying this is bad, I'm just saying this is a recurring comment. When I have a week that's not stellar, even maybe like this week here, I'll always have someone that says, I looked at your numbers and I just don't see why you're an owner operator. Couldn't you make more money as a company driver? And I always say it's possible. There's possibility you can make more as a company driver. There's possibility you can make more as an owner operator. Just because you own a truck does not mean you make more than a good paid company driver, especially with benefits and all. I do it because I have a lot going on outside of trucking. And for me, when I say I want to be off on this day for a couple days, I make it happen. Whereas if I was with a company, it might be more of a struggle, because they got their interest and I got my interest. Whereas, here where I'm at, there's no forced dispatch. Basically they ask me where I want to go and what I want to do. And, it's kind of like when I settle in on a little run like this, I'll do it for a couple months, maybe off and on. If I want to make some extra money, I'll just go straight back out if they got a load that pays anything. But for the most part, I'll just settle in on something like this when times are kind of tough like this. But the fact of the matter is, you gotta want. I used to tell people, I used to own a business outside of trucking that was a decent sized business. Okay. Probably at our height, we probably had mid 20 employees, like 22, 23 employees at the height. And I used to tell people, the thing about money is you got to want to do the work to get the money. Everything else can be taught. I can teach you how to do this. I can teach you how to do that. I can teach you how to make the most amount of money with your time that I know. I'm just, I'm not some sort of sensei here, but if you want to get to where I'm at, I can show you how to get there. But I can't come to your house and wake you up at 5 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? I can't come to your truck and wake you up at 3 o'clock in the morning and say, hey, you got to get going or you're going to get caught in traffic. It's the want. And if you're not excited about business, if you're not excited about being more than, what you are, then by all means, stay a company driver. There's no guarantee of advancement just because you went out and bought a truck. A lot of times, it's quite the opposite. You buy a job and a headache, especially if it's like you can go buy the newest, fanciest truck you want, but if you don't run it like a business and treat it like an asset and treat it like that's your paycheck, then that new shiny truck's going to become a heaping pile of crap and way before its time. Versus if you could buy an old junky truck and fix on it and shine on it and add value to it, that old junky truck could last longer than that shiny new one. It's all about want and perspective. You know what I'm saying? So, could I make more being a company driver? You think about benefits and this, that, and the other and everything combined. High likelihood. There's a high likelihood with the right company I could. But for me, it just doesn't fit me at the moment. Now, I'm not going to say in 5 years, hey, you may see a freaking, you might see a name on this shirt. Like, I mean, I got nothing against being a company driver. It's just, for me at the moment, this works better for me than being a company driver. And I hope that makes sense to you guys. And, if you're watching this and you're going, it just doesn't make sense to me, well then, by all means, don't do things that don't make sense. Stick with what you got, especially if it's doing you right now. Now's the time to kind of try to get by instead of doing a lot of risky moves right now, unless you've planned them and you've got everything seemingly thought out. But other than that, guys, that's what I got for you today. Thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate everybody tuning in, watching the weekly recaps. A bunch of people tried to copy this, but hey, who are they kidding, right? Who are they kidding? Anyway, continue watching, guys. I got an ad here. If not, I'm not trying to get you to watch an ad if you don't want to. That's why I put them at the ass end like this. I would appreciate it if you'd smash the like button and subscribe down there. As I always say, touch me down there. You come on with it. Later, guys. Take care of each other. Remember, people are more important than trucking most of the time. Asterisk. Later. Bye. Hey, everybody. Thanks for sticking around. Just want to talk to you a little bit about a company I'm partnering with, Mighty Products, spelled M-Y-T-E-E. You flatbed guys probably already know them. They are huge into flatbed straps, tarps, everything, toolboxes. I mean, they sell everything for trucking. Go check them out. Links are down there in the comments and in the description of the video. Check it out. I really appreciate them reaching out and wanting to work with my channel. It helps me out tremendously if you shop through my link. I would much appreciate it. And let me know what you think about them if you do buy something from them. Thanks. Appreciate your feedback. Bye.